Hey riders and racers, and welcome back for another live stream. Had a little bit of a break from doing live streams because I've been a little bit sick this week, so didn't really feel like putting together too many videos. But anyway, back to it. And today's video is how much weight should a motocross rider be lifting? So I bang on about strength a lot. I bang on about getting strong. Okay, spending time lifting weights, but how strong is strong? Okay, how much weight is too much weight? How much weight is not enough weight? So the first thing I guess that I'm really touching on today is there's this big misconception in riding and racing that lifting weights is going to make you big and bulky. And it's just not true. Okay, there are specific things you can do with weight training to make yourself big and bulky if that's what you want. But building strength and getting big and bulky, they don't come together. Okay, they can be trained separately. So the reason that we want to get strong, okay, or work on building strength, is that the stronger you can get yourself, the lighter the bike will feel for you. So if your bike, hey James, let's say your bike is weighing, like let's say you're riding even like a 250, a 250F, a 450, right? They're roughly 100 kilos, if not a little bit more. So you've got a bike there which weighs 100 kilos, and then on top of that, you've got your body weight as well. So if you weigh 90 kilos at the moment, you got a 100 kilo bike and you got 90 kilos of rider weight. We add those two together, that's a total of 190 kilos. Okay, so that's a fair bit of weight. And then you've got to be able to move that weight for a long period of time. So for motocross, you might be doing a 20-minute or half-hour moto. You need to be able to wrestle around 190 kilos for 20 minutes or half an hour. If you're doing enduros, 3 to 4 hour enduros, you're wrestling around 190 kilos for 3 to 4 hours. Okay, now there's no amount of cycling, no amount of rowing, no amount of running, no amount of body weight work that you can do that is going to compensate or make up for throwing around that 190 kilos. So what we need to focus on is getting strong. So the stronger you can get yourself, the lighter that 190 kilo package that you're moving is going to feel. Okay, the weaker you are, the heavier that 190 kilos is going to feel. So that's why we want to get strong. Now, the best analogy I have or way of explaining this is, let's take a squat, for example. Okay, so let's take a weighted squat. I want you to think of what your maximum squat is, okay, with a bar. So bar, weights on the end, what's the maximum you think you can do? Or the maximum you have done if you already do squats. Whatever that is, I want you to either come up with a number of what you think you can do, or a number, hey Darren, a number that you have done before. So let's say, for example, let's say the most you can squat is 50 kilos. It's the most you've done for one rep. Now let's say we take all the weight off the bar, and let's say I give you an empty bar. So just give you a bar on your back with no weights on it. Okay, and so the bar weighs roughly 20 kilos. So if the most you can squat is 50 kilos once, how many reps do you think you can do with a 20 kilo bar? Okay, so come up with a number. If you haven't done it, have a guess at how many reps you think you'd be able to get out. So maybe an accurate number, maybe, I don't know, maybe let's say 15 reps. Okay, let's say you can get 15 reps out with a 20 kilo bar, and then after that, your legs are cooked and you can't get out anymore. Okay, so let's say over these coming months, leading up till Christmas, let's say you put a lot of work in with your strength work. Okay, you focus on getting stronger, and what you're able to do is you're able to get your back squat from 50 kilos up to 100 kilos. Okay, so now you're at 100 kilos for one rep, not 50 kilos. Now let's say again, you've got a bar on your back, we strip all the weights off, and we just got this empty bar which weighs roughly 20 kilos. How many reps do you think you can do now with that 20 kilo bar? Okay, again, have a guess. Okay, come up with a rough number. Now, the number that you come up with doesn't really matter. But what you're going to find is that the number you come up with now is much higher than the number that you came up with when you could only squat 50 kilos. And the reason you came up with a higher number is because you know that that 20 kilo bar is going to feel much lighter if you're capable of squatting 100 kilos in comparison to only being capable of squatting 50 kilos. And because that 20 kilo bar feels lighter for you, you know that you're going to be able to do more reps with that 20 kilo bar than what you could before you experience fatigue and can't go anymore. So what's happened there is you've just improved your endurance. You can now move this 20 kilo bar faster for a lot more reps than what you could do before. And the reason you can do that is not because you did a whole heap of endurance work, it's because you increased your maximal strength. And so that's the same thing that we're working on the bike. When you guys are riding, we want to get you stronger overall to make that bike feel much lighter, because when you can make the bike feel lighter, you fatigue less and you can throw that bike around and move that bike around for longer periods of time, exactly like you can with the 20 kilo bar. So that's what we're aiming for. That's what we want. So how much strength, to answer the question of today's topic, how much strength is too much strength? And the truth is there's no specific spot. Okay, I'm going to give you a rough benchmark in a minute, but there's no, just lift this weight or just lift that weight. It's a sliding scale. The more you can increase your strength over time, the lighter the bike is going to feel. So I hear from a lot of people, especially riders that I work with, when I first start talking to them, and we have our first chat, is they say, my strength's fine. Okay, my strength's okay. Like I lift heaps of bags of cement every day, or I'm an electrician, I'm lifting heavy cable all day, or I'm a labourer, or I'm a scaffolder. And the truth is you might be strong, okay? You might have some level of endurance compared to the average person, but we're looking on a sliding scale here. What we want to do is increase your strength, okay? Wherever it's at, we just want to work on incrementally making you a little bit stronger, because if we can make you a little bit stronger, the bike feels a little bit lighter. If we can get the bike to feel a little bit lighter for you, then you can move it around for longer periods of time. And ultimately, that's what we're aiming for. So to give you guys a benchmark, I've come up with some rough benchmarks here. And again, these are not black and white numbers, okay? This is just like a standard move towards this direction. So a deadlift, you should be deadlifting around the 150 kilo mark, if not a little bit more for reps, okay? Not your 1RM with bad form, for reps, comfortably moving 150 kilos. For your back squat, you should be squatting 120 kilos or more for reps, okay? And when I say back squat, I mean your hips, okay, are going to parallel or below, okay? It's not none of this half squat bullshit that I see 90% of people doing, because that's going to make a big difference to how you move the weight. So, and how much weight you can move. So we want to make sure that you're getting appropriate depth for those squats. Otherwise, you're defeating the whole purpose of the exercise. You're just cheating yourself. Bench press, should be bench pressing 90 kilos plus for reps. Again, barbell should be locked out overhead to start with and should be touching your chest. You're not bouncing off your chest, okay? You're not coming down as fast as you can and watching your fucking rib cage collapse and then rebounding the bar off. You should be coming down, tapping your chest very, very lightly, and then going back up. Again, you're only cheating yourself. If you're doing bench press and only going like this or going down and smashing it into your body to try and get it up, you're defeating the whole purpose of the benchmarks that I'm actually giving you. You may as well not even follow them. Overhead pressing, you should be overhead pressing 65, 70 kilos plus for reps. Again, that's not bending your legs at all. That's with stiff legs, okay? That's without using your chest. That's without bending back and trying to do a standing bench press. It's standing up nice and straight with a very controlled movement. It's very important with these benchmarks that you're performing the movements correctly. You're not just chasing these weights for the saying, going, I can deadlift 50 kilos, but it looks like shit. Or going, I can squat 120 plus, but you don't get anywhere near parallel. Okay, or going, I can overhead press 70 kilos plus, but you're bending back like this and your back's fucked for the rest of the week, and most of it was using your legs to get the weight up. If you're going to follow the benchmark, you have to do the movements properly, okay, by the standard that I need them followed to for you to be able to have appropriate levels of strength. And once you get to those levels of strength, it doesn't mean you just stop there. You still keep building. It's just that the strength, you're not going to get as much benefit from the strength stuff. Then you need to make sure that your cardio and conditioning is also improving as well. And so it's always a balancing act. You're always trying to get stronger and get fitter. Okay, and you always have a lagging component, but hey Nick, you want to make sure you're working on both. Okay, you're working to increase both and make them both better. Always getting stronger. But that's just a rough benchmark of where you should be at. Like if you're thinking, oh, I don't know if I'm one of those people who needs to get stronger, I'm pretty strong. Well, if you're not meeting those benchmarks, then you know that you're weak and you need to get stronger and put some work in with those. So there's no specific number that I can give you. All of you guys will be at different levels of strength. Some of you guys have probably never done those movements before, and you're going, what's a deadlift? What's a back squat? What's a bench press? What's an overhead press? I've never done them. I've never even touched a barbell. Some of you have done those movements before, and you probably haven't performed them correctly. Okay, your squats haven't been to parallel. Your deadlifts have been with fucking terrible form. Your bench press has been without touching your chest, and your overhead press has been using mostly legs. Okay, so you need to tidy up your form and go back, and that's going to be a big hit to your ego because you're probably going to have to drop your weights on all those movements, and you're not as strong as what you thought you are. But that's how we get better. And then there'll be another group of you guys who have done these movements well and are moving well, and need to get stronger. Those movements need to be better. You're not anywhere near those numbers, and you need to make progress with those. So there's no specific number of weight you should be lifting because you guys are all going to be at different levels. Again, it's a sliding scale. It's going, okay, this is the level of strength I'm at now. If I can get myself 10% stronger, it's going to make the bike feel a bit lighter. Okay, if I get myself 20% stronger, it's going to make the bike feel even lighter. 30% stronger, 40% stronger, 50% stronger, the bike's going to feel lighter and lighter and lighter. In terms of being too strong, there's not going, probably 99.99% of you are not going to be anywhere near levels that are too strong, unless you're a power lifter and you've done powerlifting competitions and that was your sport, and then you woke up one morning and went, oh shit, I want to be a motocross racer today. Then you're not going to be too strong. Okay. 99.99% of you watching this, you need to be stronger and working on getting stronger overall. So that's really it. Summary for today is the stronger you can get yourself, the better your endurance is going to be on the bike. Okay, it's not the whole equation. I get people that love to make comments on some of my videos and go, oh, just do strength training and don't do any cardio. And everyone thinks I'm all about just lifting weights. I'm all about lifting weights because that's what most of you need to do. The cardio and the conditioning component is still important. I just don't bang on about that as much because most of you are already doing this. Know you need to go and do some cycling or do some rowing or do some running, okay, or go for a swim or whatever it is that you enjoy doing for cardio work. So hopefully that clears up a few things for you guys. Any of you guys that would like help building some strength, specifically for motocross or for enduro, without having to go and ride the bike every day, you can feel free to apply for my Faster Laps program. I'll put the application form in the comments for you below. We train 3 times a week. It's not a shit ton of training. The sessions go for about an hour. Half of that's made up of strength, half of that's made up of cardio and conditioning. Our guys get pretty strong. I've got 48-year-olds that are deadlifting 150 kilos plus. I've got 48-year-olds that are hitting these benchmarks, which is a lot stronger than a lot of the 20, 30, and 40-year-olds that I work with as well. So they've got their work cut out for them. If a 48-year-old can get up to 150 kilos plus, okay, and squat 120 kilos plus and hit all these numbers, then if you're younger than that, there is absolutely no reason whatsoever that you shouldn't be hitting these numbers. These are easy numbers to hit with a bit of work and the right strategy in front of you. Nutrition-wise, as part of the program, I literally do everything. I map out all the meals. I show you how to structure your meals. I help you with the quantities. The meals aren't anything fancy. You're not eating fucking couscous and lettuce 5 times a day, okay? They're easy to make meals. They take 5-10 minutes max prep time. Some of them don't require any prep. Obviously, you just need to go out and buy the food. The meals are easy enough to eat. If you're want to eat the same food as the rest of your family, the rest of your family is going to be more than happy with the meals that we got there, and maybe get them on track with their health and wellness as well. And I catch up for a coaching call with every single one of my riders every single week. And the reason I do that is I'm all about results. I want to make sure they're performing. I want to make sure they're making progress. I want to make sure we're not wasting time doing stuff that's not moving the needle forward for them. For some of them, it's to get stronger. Some of them, they need to lose weight. Some of them, it's purely just improving their riding and racing fitness. Some of it's improving their conditioning. Some of it's all of the above. But I'm all about results, progress. That's what drives me with coaching, and that's what drives all the work that I do with all the riders that I work with is results. I want to see my guys improving, getting better, seeing progress. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all race for, right? If you didn't like progress, if you didn't like getting better results, you probably wouldn't race. You wouldn't do events. You'd probably just go ride in the bush and bash around with your buddies. The reason you race is because you want to be competitive and you want to get better and you want to progress. Maybe not progress in comparison to everyone else, but you want to see progress in comparison to yourself. You want to see that you can ride harder for longer periods of time. You want to see that you're getting better results because that's the bit that makes you happy. That's the bit that you enjoy riding. If you went backwards every race, chances are you're probably not too happy with your performance. You come home miserable, going, shit, today was a shit day. I'm all about progress. I'm all about results. I'm all about seeing people improve. And these are the things you need to do to improve. So if you like some help improving and you want to see progress with your riding and racing, you're feeling a bit stuck at the moment, then apply for my Faster Laps program. Fill out an application form below in the comments. It'll ask you a few questions about what you're working towards, what you've had challenges with, and also why your goal is important to you. I'll give you a quick call, won't be today, because I catch up with my riders today, so it'll be tomorrow. We'll have a quick 5-minute call, and I'll run through your application with you. Once we've done that, if you're someone that I feel like I can help, we'll organise a free coaching call. And what I'll need you to do is to send in your training for me, send in the nutrition log. Might be a bit daunting if you haven't done that before because it's actually putting the facts out in front of you. And then what we'll do is we'll go through them together, see where you go, see what you're doing well, see where you're going wrong and what you need to work on, and then we'll put a plan together and see if I can help or not. So that's something you're interested in. Feel free to apply below in the comments. Otherwise, hopefully you guys got some value from this video, and looking forward to, now that I'm feeling a bit better, putting some more videos together for you guys. But I will chat to you guys soon. See you later.